Creative marketing tactics. How you can use creative out of the box thinking to get loads of new customers. Table of contents. Chapter 1 What is creative marketing? 5 The definition. 6 The history. 6 The evolution. 7 Chapter 2 How and why creative marketing works. 9 The element of surprise. 9 It pays to be different. 11 Controls and variables. 12 Fun with case studies. 14 Several campaigns that worked. 15 One campaign that didn't. 16 Chapter 3 Creative marketing for your small business. 18 Advantages. 19 Disadvantages. 20 Cost breakdown, money versus effort. 21 Finding your target market. 24 Chapter 4 Creative marketing methods. 28 Word of mouth. 28 What is it? 29 How do you do it? 30 Summary. 32 Canvassing. 33 What is it? 33 How do you do it? 34 Summary. 36 The sign says. 37 What is it? 38 How do you do it? 38 Summary. 41 Vehicle and body advertising. 41 What is it? 42 How do you do it? 42 Summary. 44 Promotional items. 44 What is it? 45 How do you do it? 47 Summary. 48 Chapter 5 Digital creative marketing. 50 Establishing yourself. 50 Website basics. 51 Internet marketing basics. 53 Going viral. 54 What is it? 55 How do you do it? 56 Summary. 58 Beating the blog drum. 58 What is it? 59 How do you do it? 60 Summary. 62 Chapter 6 Rules and regulations. 63 Fairness in advertising. 63 What it means. 63 Spam isn't healthy. 64 Weird laws and ordinances. 67 Chapter 7 Welcome to the jungle. 69 Table of figures. 71 Chapter 1 How and why creative marketing works. Today's business market is an extremely competitive place. More businesses enter the fray all the time. For the past 10 years, more than 750,000 new startups spring into existence across North America. Unfortunately, over 60% of new businesses fail in the first 4 years. Why do they fail? According to a study performed by the U.S. Department of Commerce, there are 3 main reasons startup businesses fold. Lack of financial planning. Poor sales skills, poorly planned and executed marketing. Creative marketing addresses all 3 of these concerns. It is one of the most successful marketing methods available, and since it is low cost and high impact, you won't need a huge advertising budget to take advantage of this powerful strategy. What you will need is a basic understanding of how and why creative marketing works. The element of surprise. One of the reasons creative marketing works is that the methods are often unexpected. Many creative campaigns are highly visible, and contain some sort of element that is unique to the business using it. Though it is something of a cliché by now, you should be prepared to think outside the box when it comes to planning your creative marketing campaign. The classic, expensive methods of advertising your business should be employed sparingly, if at all. These include yellow page advertisements, newspaper or magazine advertisements, radio or television commercials. Think about it. When is the last time you were heavily influenced by a yellow page, newspaper, magazine, radio, or television advertisement? The fact is that today's consumers are so bombarded with advertising messages, they've learned to tune out the traditional sources. As a creative marketer, your goal is to catch them off guard, and advertise in unexpected places. Many times, consumers won't even recognize your marketing efforts as advertising. The good news is, you can usually do this for a fraction of the cost of traditional advertising venues. Creative marketing trades effort for money. You will work harder on your marketing than a mega corporation with $1 million ad budget, but if you are persistent and creative in your efforts, they will pay off. It pays to be different. Remember the old Arby's slogan, "Different is good." This catchy little phrase could serve as a basic premise for one of the primary reasons creative marketing tactics are so successful. You might have a product or service that is completely unique. However, the chances are greater that you're competing with dozens or hundreds of other businesses for the same market share. One of the strengths of creative marketing is the ability to capitalize on the aspect or aspects of your business that make you different and therefore worthy enough for consumers to spend their hard-earned money on your product or service. So, what's different about your business? Here is a brief list of possibilities to investigate. Your business might offer the best, friendliest, or most attentive customer service, the lowest prices, products that are higher quality than the competition, a wider range of products than other businesses in your area or field, the simplest ordering methods, fast, convenient, and/or reliable delivery, more expertise in your area than your competition, the most informative and easiest to navigate website. This aspect of your business is sometimes referred to as your USP, or unique selling proposition. Once you have determined your USP, you know what makes your business different, and different is good. Controls and variables. As with any marketing campaign, there are a lot of different variables that concern the outcome of your creative marketing efforts. Some have to do with your business, which is often largely in your control. Others have to do with your customers, which are not always under your control. When it comes to your business, the variables you will have to consider during the planning stage of your marketing campaign include your location. If you run a brick-and-mortar business, where will your customers come from? Is there a decent amount of walk-in traffic, or are you situated out of the way? If you work from home or online, is your website at a good location, meaning well ranked with search engines, and parked at a domain that is easy for people to remember or stumble across? Your product or service, the specific tangible and intangible items offered by your business, will play a large role in determining how you'll market yourself. Your target market. What is the best way to reach people who are most likely to become your customers? Identifying and reaching your target market is covered more extensively in Chapter 3 of this book. Your attitude. Though this is not an aspect that is specific to your business, it is one that you can control. If you remain positive and upbeat in your approach to business, your marketing efforts will reflect that attitude and your customers will notice. What about your customers? Other people's reactions are for the most part beyond your control. You may have the best sales pitch and the most compelling marketing campaign out there, but potential customers who happen to be having a bad day when they see your message aren't likely to react in your favor. However, there are some things you can control in regard to your customers. One of these things is to understand why people buy, what brings them from initial interest to final sale. There are many different reasons, so you should determine which of them might apply to your business and focus on them. To name just a few, consumers buy products or services that will make them money. Turnkey or reseller programs are a good example of this. Get 'em praise, gifts, new clothing. Keep up with the Joneses when everyone else has something. Make them look younger, better, or smarter. Possess beautiful objects or works of art. Make them more comfortable. Be more efficient, either at work or at home. Make their work easier or faster. Help them avoid hard work. Protect their family or their possessions. Excite or entertain them. Inform them or enrich their lives. Allow them to escape stress. Boost the popularity or reputation. Save them money or time. Help them express emotions to others. Satisfy the curiosity. Attract the opposite sex. Help them avoid missing an opportunity. It is important to become familiar with the needs your business fulfills for your customers. Armed with this knowledge, you can build a marketing campaign that points out the benefits consumers will realize when they purchase your product or service. Fun with case studies. Does creative marketing really work? Since the widespread embrace of the concept, many companies have undertaken successful creative marketing campaigns. Innovation is often the key to a thriving business, and the following companies are examples of creative effectiveness in action. Several campaigns that worked. St. Paul, Minnesota, before the opening of the first Crazy Carrot Juice bar, marketer Eric Strauss engaged in some forward thinking. He spent $73 to put together a life-sized carrot costume, which was worn at several special events around town. Over the next year, the carrot made many public appearances. It was featured in various print, radio, and television media, and became largely responsible for catapulting the company's success. Eventually, the Crazy Carrot Juice bar expanded to 5 stores and 65 employees, and was then sold to industry giant Jamba Juice, all for a mere $73 investment. Irvington, New York, the Flying Fingers yarn shop, just outside of Manhattan, was looking to expand its customer base. At the suggestion of a marketing consultant, the company secured 3 giant balls of yarn, complete with knitting needles, to the roof of a modified van and called it the Yarn Bus. On weekends, the Yarn Bus travels between Irvington and NYC, promoting visibility and making special appearances at news events. Flying Fingers has seen a good increase in store traffic, but more importantly, people who might not make the physical trip to the store are made aware of their website, where they can learn about knitting classes offered by the store and purchase knitting supplies. The high visibility of the Yarn Bus has produced excellent results. Manhattan, New York, even not-for-profit businesses look to expand their reach. The Marble Church sought a way to attract younger members and revitalize the congregation. So, they turned to a marketing firm who came up with some unusual ways to get the word out. One Labor Day weekend, hundreds of weekend visitors to the Hamptons spotted an airplane banner bearing the intriguing message, "Make a friend in a very high place." Marblechurch.org. In addition, the church rented a low-cost mobile billboard mounted on the side of a van that drove around Manhattan. The sign read, "In this town it doesn't hurt to have God on your side." These creative messages, delivered in creative ways, introduced Marble Church to people who would otherwise never have heard of the place. As a result, the church reported a 31% increase in membership. Oregon, odd giveaways abound. People are intrigued by the unusual, which may explain why the Les Schwab tire dealership's free beef in February promotion keeps customers coming back, or why a nearby bank receives excellent local media coverage for their yearly tradition of giving away free Vidalia onions to anyone who walks in. One campaign that didn't. Remember the backfiring efforts mentioned in the first chapter. Recently, a creative marketing campaign took a surprisingly bad turn in Boston, Massachusetts. In an effort to promote a new animated television series, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the Cartoon Network designed and installed 40 magnetic light displays depicting characters from the series, and mounted them in various locations in and around Boston. Unfortunately, Boston citizens reacted with suspicion to the devices, which included batteries and wires hooked to the back of the placards to control the lights. Reports of the signs caused a city-wide panic in post-9/11 fashion, and an army of emergency vehicles responded to the situation. Several bridges, subway stations and highways were closed while police examined and in some cases destroyed the signs. What marketing impact did this incident have for Cartoon Network? It certainly raised awareness of the program, but when it comes to your business, you may not want this level of advertising. TV columnist David Hiltbrand stated for the Philadelphia Inquirer, "Those wacky marketing guys at Turner Broadcasting. Because, let's face it, nothing says cartoon hijinks quite like a red-level terrorist threat." Chapter 2: Creative Marketing for Your Small Business. In this chapter, we'll start with a closer look at what creative marketing entails, and then discuss some of the groundwork you should be doing before you plan and execute your campaign. Unlike other marketing methods, which rely on a huge influx of cash and resources designed to bring about immediate results, creative marketing takes time and continual effort to sustain. In any marketing venture, it can be difficult to gauge the effectiveness of a particular technique. When it comes to creative marketing, you will notice results that are a culmination of many different areas. Let me introduce you to J. Conrad Levinson from According to the Father of the Intense, Out-of-the-Box Guerrilla Marketing. The following basic principles lie at the heart of the creative world. Though large corporations have used J's guerrilla techniques with some success, the methods are best geared for small businesses. Creative marketing is based on principles of human psychology, the study of the various ways consumers react to a marketing message rather than experience and guesswork. A combination of marketing methods is a must for creative success. Do not rely on a single advertising venue. Embracing current technology is of primary importance. Creative marketing is all about the cutting edge. You should plan to invest significant portions of time, energy, and creativity into your creative marketing strategy, rather than money. Instead of sales volume, your business success should be measured in profits. Creative marketing campaigns concentrate on building new relationships with complementary businesses, rather than trying to beat out the competition. Shift your focus away from getting new customers, instead, aim for more, larger transactions with existing customers and more customer referrals, facilitating word of mouth, which is discussed in the next chapter. Is creative marketing right for your business? In most cases, the answer is yes. Advantages. We'll start with the good stuff. Creative marketing is cheap. At the high end, you may end up investing a few $100s in promotional items or a major, centralized piece that you can build a number of different campaigns around, such as the carrot suit in the examples listed in Chapter 2. At the low end, it's free and you can't beat free. In addition to growing your business, creative marketing involves networking, both with your customers and with other businesses. In the process of executing and maintaining your campaign, you will make a lot of new friends and allies. Creative marketing is specifically tailored to meet the needs of small businesses, whereas traditional advertising venues are complicated and expensive to the point of exclusion, bordering on snobbishness. Many aspects of creative marketing campaigns are just plain fun. You get to perform wacky stunts and engage in unusual activities, all in the name of working for a living. Creative marketing works. If you do your research, plan your campaign, and stick with it, you will more than likely end up with a better and more profitable business. Disadvantages. And now, the bad. Creative marketing works, but it is not completely fail-safe. It is, after all, advertising, which is far from an exact science. The number of variables involved in advertising guarantees that nothing is 100% effective. As with any advertising campaign, you will not be able to pinpoint exactly what works and what doesn't. Obtaining measurable results is difficult, but not impossible, unlike other marketing techniques. Creative marketing requires a greater level of dedication and energy than traditional advertising venues, which often consist of throwing large amounts of money at other people to do the work for you. If you're looking for a quick fix, creative marketing is not your solution. You will not see instant or overnight results stemming from your efforts. An investment of time is required in order to achieve your business sales goals. Creative marketing is not for the thin-skinned or faint of heart. At the very least, you will have a few detractors who find fault in your methods. At worst, you may be threatened with legal action, which is why it's so important to check your local laws before engaging in a creative marketing campaign. Cost breakdown: money versus effort. What is worth more, your money or your time? This is the trade-off involved in creative marketing. You don't need a lot of money, but if you don't invest your time, your efforts will not pay off. The principles behind creative marketing, listed in the beginning of this chapter, require planning, groundwork, and effort. How can you tell whether it's worth the trade-off? Here is a brief, hypothetical example. One popular marketing method is to send out email announcements in the form of a regular weekly or monthly newsletter. You could build a mailing list and create your own newsletter, the creative method, or you could buy advertising space in another business's newsletter, the traditional method. If you choose to advertise in another newsletter, you will spend somewhere between $100 and $1,000 for premium space in a widely read newsletter e-zine, with a big subscriber list. You may end up spending more for consecutive ads, since consumers typically need to see your message 3 to 7 times before they'll buy. You will spend a few to several hours researching e-zines, writing your advertisements or article, and contacting the e-zine owners in order to schedule your ads appearances. You will typically see a conversion rate, number of people who read your advertisement compared to number of people who become your customers, of 2 to 5%, slightly higher than the conversion rate of a direct mail campaign. This rate typically goes up a few percentages with subsequent advertisements, depending on the effectiveness of your copy, the wording of your message. If you create your own newsletter or e-zine, you will spend $0 to $100. You may decide to invest in desktop publishing software, list management software or services, or an upgraded internet service provider plan to handle additional web traffic. You will spend several hours to several months building your opt-in subscription base, through methods like sign-up boxes, refer-a-friend programs, e-zine directory listings, and word of mouth. You will realize the typical conversion rate at first 2 to 5%, but you will never have to spend another penny for advertising, because you own the newsletter or e-zine. Your subscription base will continue to grow, and your sales resulting from your newsletter will increase exponentially, rather than in the measured bursts you can expect from the traditional method. One thing to be wary of when you're building an e-zine subscription base is buying bulk lists and using free traffic programs to bulk up your subscribers. Though this will give you some impressive numbers, the majority of these will either delete your emails unread, or unsubscribe as soon as they've met the requirements of whatever benefit they signed up for. The best results will come from a carefully targeted subscriber list that you have built yourself. Determining your money versus time factor. How can you figure out whether the time you'll invest in a given creative marketing campaign is worth the trade-off in advertising dollars, assuming, of course, that you have a substantial advertising budget to begin with? If you don't, no worries, you don't need one. You can get a rough estimate of your results by performing the following steps. 1. Determine a traditional advertising venue that most closely relates to your intended creative marketing effort. 2. Estimate the total monetary cost of each method. 3. Estimate the total time investment involved with each method. 4. Assign a reasonable dollar value to each hour of your time you would invest. $15 an hour is a good average. 5. Add monetary costs and per hour time costs to each method, arriving at 2 separate totals. 6. Calculate a projected profit resulting from each of the methods. Don't forget to factor in the snowball effect gained from creative marketing through repeat business and customer referrals. Most traditional advertising venues are one-shot deals. 7. Subtract total cost from total profit. This will give you a general idea. Usually, the creative marketing campaign will end up looking like a much better deal. Finding your target market. Before you attempt to sell your products or services, you need to know to whom you're selling them. Market research is an important step in any advertising campaign, and one that is unfortunately overlooked too often. Without a good handle on your target market, you will be wasting your time, effort, and money. The most effective marketing is designed to specifically reach the people who are most likely to buy your product or service. This is one reason why traditional advertising has such a low response rate. Just about everyone has access to television, radio, and print media like newspapers and phone books. Only a small percentage of those people will be in your target demographic. There are 2 steps to target marketing, which is also referred to as niche marketing. The first is to define your target, and the second is to find ways to reach them. Once you have accomplished these steps, you can incorporate this information into a creative marketing campaign that will give you the most bang for your buck, or more likely, your efforts. Identifying your niche. This step involves a close analysis of your business. Much like an investigative reporter, you need to determine the who, what, where, when, and why of your customer base. Ask yourself the following questions. Would your product or service appeal more to men, women, or both genders equally? What age range does your product or service appeal to? Note, if your business sells products or services for children, parents are your target demographic. What is the range of income and education level of the people who may be interested in your product or service? Are they single, married, with children, retired? How will your customers use your products or services? Is there a potential for repeat business? Does your product or service fall into the category of needs, food, clothing, shelter, or wants, luxury items? What makes your product or service unique, your USP discussed in Chapter 2? Is your product an impulse buy, books, shoes, gourmet food, or an investment, cars, boats, computer hardware or software? How are transactions for your product or service typically carried out online, mail order, or in person? Cash, check, or credit cards? A single payment, multiple payments, or monthly recurring fees? How do your potential customers typically become alerted to new products or services? Online, through public advertisements, from the news media, or some other method. You may even want to develop a profile of your ideal customer, for example, 20 to 30-year-old single college-educated females, or 40 to 50-year-old married males with middle-class incomes, to help you pinpoint your target market. Locating your niche. Once you have determined what type of customer you're looking for, you have to find where they hang out. Do they frequently eat at restaurants or go to movies? Would they be more likely to spend an afternoon at a shopping mall or a library? Are they frequent travelers, and would you be able to reach them at airports and bus or train terminals? For online marketing, you can often find specific forums for your target demographic. Keep in mind that when you're marketing online, you have to build a rapport with online communities before you can start pitching your business. After all, you wouldn't walk into a complete stranger's house and shove your products in the faces demanding a purchase, would you? This may sound like an extreme example, but when it comes to Internet Protocol, this is exactly what people seem like when they drop into forums and immediately start posting advertisements and special deals. Use the information you find about your target customers' buying habits to determine the best ways to focus your creative marketing efforts. If your customers like to eat out, consider striking an exchange with a local restaurant. If they travel, think about bus billboards or materials you can hand out in terminals. Chapter 3: Creative Marketing Methods. Now that you know what creative marketing can do for your business, it's time to learn how to do it. In this chapter, we'll explore some of the methods you can use to build buzz and grab your customers' interest. Keep in mind that there are many different approaches to creative marketing, and your strategy should include some elements that are unique to your business. You don't have to follow these methods to the letter. In fact, experimentation is a great way to hit on that perfect marketing strategy that will deliver the gold for you. Feel free to tweak these methods and create an approach that is uniquely yours. Word of mouth. Word of mouth marketing is arguably the most powerful and effective strategy out there. Unfortunately, it is also the most elusive and difficult to control. This marketing method relies more on your customers than on your efforts, and can usually be traced to the quality of your product or service. To put it another way, word of mouth marketing happens when a product or service sells itself. What is it? People like to talk. Word of mouth marketing, basically, is giving them something to talk about, your business. It is building a buzz about your product or service, and letting your customers do the marketing legwork for you by telling friends, family, and sometimes even complete strangers if they're excited enough. Word of mouth marketing is powerful, because it is genuine. You can't fake this phenomenon. When people believe what you have is worth mentioning to others, they're going to be enthusiastic, and that enthusiasm helps to generate even more business for you in the form of new customers and wider market recognition. There are many different forms word of mouth marketing can take. Just a few of them are: viral marketing, crafting and distributing a high impact message that is easy to pass along to others, often through email. Viral marketing will be discussed further in Chapter 5. Community marketing, joining or forming a shared interest community whose members are likely to enjoy your product or service. Note that with community marketing, it is important to place the good of the community first, and marketing efforts last. Marketing will evolve naturally through participation. Buzz marketing, creating an air of excitement or mystery around your business. Usually through news, entertainment, or underground campaigns. Grassroots marketing, coordinating groups of volunteers to spread your message. On a personal or local level. Cause marketing, dedicating part of your business to a social cause which in turn earns respect and support from others dedicated to the same cause. Conversion creation, catchphrases, promotions, launch parties, and other memorable tools or events designed to spread through word of mouth. Product seeding, identifying influential or key individuals and getting your product or information into the right hands at the right time. How do you do it? As previously stated, even though word of mouth is effective, it's hard to pull off. If you try to fake a buzz for your business, consumers will smell a scam and your efforts will backfire. There are, however, a few things you can do to help encourage word of mouth advertising to start on its own. 1. Have a quality product or service. This may sound too obvious to consider, but it is perhaps the most important factor in word of mouth marketing. Make sure your customers are getting what they pay for. Research the competition. You're going to want to know if several other businesses are offering comparable products or services at far lower or higher prices than you. If possible, back your product or service with a guarantee or warranty. 2. Put your customers first. A happy customer is one who feels their purchases are important to your business. Happy customers are potential word of mouth marketing sources. Make delivering on your promises a top priority. If you offer fast shipping, be certain your products are always delivered in a reliable and timely manner. If your service promises quick turnaround, make sure you never miss a deadline. Address customer complaints and problems immediately and personally, and consider offering refunds or bonuses for dissatisfied customers. 3. Identify and speak to your target market. Who is interested in your products or services? Where do they tend to gather, either on or offline? Blanket advertising is ineffective at best. Your marketing efforts should be concentrated on those venues or locations where your target consumer group is most likely to see your message. Once you create a community buzz among people whose shared interests lead them to your business, your marketing campaign becomes self-supporting. 4. Make it easy for your customers to tell others about your business. Word of mouth marketing is based on spreading your message. However, if interested customers don't have a way to share their enthusiasm with others right away, they may not remember what excited them about your product or service. Provide your face-to-face customers with business cards, flyers, or an accessible sign-up list for your company newsletter. You do have a newsletter, don't you? Online tools such as forums and refer-a-friend programs will help to facilitate spreading the word. 5. Listen and respond. If you receive a single complaint, you can often deal with it on a personal, individual basis. However, if you receive several similar complaints, you may need to do more than simply reply to the dissatisfied customers. Be prepared to make changes in your business according to the wants and needs of your customers. This applies to positive suggestions as well as complaints. Also, if you discover that your business is being slammed, don't be afraid to defend yourself in a logical, reasonable manner. Avoid flame wars. Customers respect businesses that are willing to admit their mistakes and will try to repair the damage. Summary. Word of mouth marketing happens when a product or service sells itself through the enthusiasm of the consumer. Word of mouth marketing cannot be faked, it stems from genuine compassion on the part of both business and customer. There are many different forms word of mouth marketing can take. Word of mouth marketing cannot be engineered, but it can be encouraged. The customer is the most important factor in word of mouth marketing. Word of mouth marketing is one of the least expensive and most powerful forms of creative marketing. Canvassing. You may have seen this term used in conjunction with political campaigns, and in fact that's one of the most common reasons to employ canvassing. However, this technique can also be used effectively for creative marketing. What is it? Canvassing refers to advertising that reaches out to a group of target consumers, usually in the same geographic location, on an individual level. A simple example of a canvassing campaign would be a new pizza place sending its employees out with stacks of flyers, to be left on or under as many doors in their delivery area as possible. Other canvassing techniques include door-to-door introductions, think Jehovah's Witness here. Parking lot flyer distribution. Sidewalk or mall sampling. Telephone campaigns. How do you do it? Though there is some monetary expense involved in most canvassing campaigns, usually to print the materials you plan to distribute, this type of marketing can be both inexpensive and effective. There are 3 stages to a successful canvassing campaign: planning, preparation, and distribution. Planning, this, of course, is the most important. You have to plan the materials themselves, and you also have to determine the distribution area or method that will be most effective for you and your business. For a local business, you will of course be interested in canvassing locally. You can distribute flyers door to door. Be sure to check your area laws before you start passing out material this way. Hang them on community bulletin boards or telephone poles. Again, check with local ordinances here, or plan an area mailing campaign. You can also make arrangements with other local businesses to hand out your materials, flyers, business cards, brochures, and bookmarks, to name a few, in exchange for advertising for them. If you have materials available, be sure to stay alert in regards to community events that may attract your target market. If your business is primarily online, your canvassing area will consist of websites and forums your target customers frequent, as well as individual emails. Be sure to do your research and have a list of these places, along with the methods you can use to attract interest there: banner ads, forum memberships, guest blogging, articles, newsletters, and the like. When planning your materials, make sure you spend some time getting them as attractive and interesting as possible. Comb your wording for spelling and grammatical errors. Not only can these make for a bad first impression to customers, but they can also end up with some unintended consequences. As an extreme example, imagine what would happen if the Motel 6 chain missed a typo and launched an advertising campaign for Motel 6. Your mistakes may not be as outrageous, but if you make a mistake in your advertising materials, your customers will be more likely to remember you for your mistakes than the quality of your products or services. Also, make sure your material is exciting and compelling. Remember your USP. Take the aspect of your business that sets it apart from your competitors and emphasize it in your marketing copy. If you can come up with a catchy phrase or slogan, a recognizable icon, or a fun play on words that describes your business, this short and sweet message can go a long way on your materials. Preparation. Once you've decided on your materials, you have to create them. If you are sending out a small batch of flyers, business cards, or brochures, you may be able to make them yourself with a high-quality printer. A commercial printer is usually more economical for larger quantities. Places like Staples and Kinko's have become more affordable than ever, and there are several competitive online companies like Vistaprint.com to choose from as well. You will need to supply the printer with a file to print from. With the proliferation of desktop publishing software, you will likely be able to design the materials yourself. However, be sure to invest a lot of time and make it a professional presentation. If you don't feel confident in creating great-looking and sounding promotional material, you may want to consider hiring a freelance designer or copywriter. You'll pay a one-time price for material you can use over and over. Distribution. This refers to actually getting the material to your customers. You can distribute flyers yourself, or enlist volunteers to help. Volunteers, partners, or anyone who's willing to spend some time helping you promote may be willing to stand in high-traffic areas like malls or transportation terminals and hand out your material. You may be mailing out your materials, in which case your distribution involves a trip to the post office. If you're partnering with another local business, you'll simply have to drop off a stack of materials with them. If you plan an online canvassing campaign, it's a good idea to try and coordinate the various venues and have them hit within the same time frame. Multiple banners, ads, articles, forum posts, blog entries, and emails that reach your target audience more than once will help to reinforce your business in their minds, and help them remember you the next time they need your product or service. Summary. Canvassing is any marketing method that reaches multiple consumers on an individual basis. There are many forms of canvassing, including flyer and brochure distribution, sampling, telephone or door-to-door marketing, and online campaigns. Canvassing is most effective when you have researched your target market demographic and can access a number of them in the same area. Other businesses make excellent canvassing partners, since you can reach all of the customers without much effort. Canvassing relies on a strong message and well-written material to achieve results. Distribution, the final step of canvassing, can take place in person, online, or through a third party. The sign says. Signs are everywhere. A good sign can be a great tool for your business, and in true creative marketing style, it doesn't have to cost much. What is it? A sign is any at-a-glance advertisement for your business. They range in size from matchbook covers to billboards, and can be found in a wide variety of locations. Signs are familiar to just about everyone, because there are so many of them. Unfortunately, this means people often overlook them. How do you do it? If you want to use signs as part of your creative marketing campaign, there are two important factors you need to consider: design and placement. What it should look like. Creating an effective sign means making it stand out from its surroundings, and giving it some individual and memorable characteristics. At the same time, you have to strike a balance between information and clutter. You may want to consider hiring a professional designer. As with printed advertising materials, the one-time investment often proves worthwhile, since you can use the design over and over again. However, if you feel confident that you can create your own signs, here are some tips for effective design. Make sure it's legible from the distance most people will view it. At the least, you will include your website and/or phone number, but if no one can read your sign, they won't contact you for more information. Speaking of information, don't include too much. The object of a sign is to get people interested in learning more about your business, so don't attempt to close a sale with just your sign. Apply the KISS principle, keep it short and simple. Elaborate designs and excessive wording will distract rather than attract attention. Ideally, your sign should contain 3 to 10 words in addition to your contact information. Include a grabber element, either a strong word or phrase in large text, or an intriguing image or company logo. Pay attention to color scheme, and make sure they are contrasting enough to stand out so everything is easily legible. Some excellent color combinations include black on white, black on yellow, white on black, yellow on black, and blue on white. What is not there is just as important as what is. You should incorporate approximately 30 to 40% of white space, not necessarily white, but space with no words or images on it, in the overall design of your sign. Where to put it? After you design your sign, you'll need to figure out where to put it. Of course, there are the traditional places: billboards, storefronts, bulletin boards, and the like. You can also get creative and find other places or venues for your signs. Restroom signs are becoming more popular. Some businesses will allow you to advertise in the bathrooms, and one creative company has actually placed advertisements inside men's urinals with some success. Roadside placement: got a house on a road with decent foot or vehicle traffic? How about friends in prime locations? Try placing a sign in your front yard, and recruiting friends to do the same. Check with community event coordinators. You may be able to place signs at bake sales, fundraisers, and other local happenings. Consider swapping signage space with other businesses in your area for greater exposure. Summary: though signs are associated with traditional advertising, they can be part of a successful creative marketing campaign. A sign is any at-a-glance advertisement for your business. Design and placement are the two key elements for successful signs. Creative sign placement can boost your sign's effectiveness. Vehicle and body advertising. This space for rent, attractive signs for your business are great, but they are stationary. The only people who see them are those who walk or drive by them. In many ways, mobile signs can attract more attention. What better way to get your signs in motion than to put them on a moving vehicle? Or a moving person? What is it? Vehicle advertising. The most obvious examples are the small signs you may have seen on city buses. Transportation companies often rent space on their fleet vehicles to advertisers as an additional source of income. This means anywhere the bus goes, your advertising will be seen by the people in the area, both foot traffic and vehicle traffic. Other forms of vehicle advertising include interior bus signs, taxi and limo billboards, bumper stickers, vehicle wraps, self-service. Body advertising. How about a walking, talking advertisement for your business? You can find people who are willing, for a small fee, to wear temporary tattoos advertising your product or service. These tattoos often make a great conversation piece, and can make a lot of people aware of your business. How do you do it? Vehicle advertising. For bus, taxi, and limo advertising, contact your local transportation companies and ask about their ad rates for fleet vehicles. You will probably need to supply your own designs for the ads, but the rates are often fairly inexpensive for the amount of exposure you'll receive. Be sure to spend a lot of time coming up with a catchy advertisement. You can have custom bumper stickers printed for your business. It's a good idea to feature your easy-to-remember website prominently on a custom bumper sticker. Give them away to family, friends, customers, and at community events. Consider supplying free bumper stickers to other local businesses to give away to the customers. Vehicle wraps are partial or full vehicle advertisements that generate some interesting reactions. You pay people, usually those who drive back and forth to work every day, to have the personal vehicles wrapped with advertisements for your business. You can also wrap your own personal vehicle, or get body or window detailing done with your business information. No matter where you drive, you will constantly be advertising your product or service. Body advertising. Your first step here is to design a compelling temporary tattoo that people can identify quickly with your business. Again, it is a good idea to prominently feature your URL in the design, to allow prospective customers to find more information quickly. When choosing people to wear your temporary tattoos, decide how much you're willing to pay each person you recruit. You may want to base this on the number of days the tattoo should remain visible and in good condition. Specify where the tattoo should be worn. The back of the hand is a good, prominent place, though some advertisers have requested that people place them on their foreheads. Instruct the recruits as to what information you'd like them to give when people ask about the tattoos. You may want to consider providing them with business cards, brochures, bookmarks, or other promotional items to hand out to those who show interest. Ask them to keep track of how many people they talk to concerning the tattoos, so you can use the information in your marketing calculations. Summary. Vehicle and body advertising serve as mobile signs for your business. There are many different forms of vehicle advertising, some more expensive than others. Body advertising is enlisting other people to place advertisements for your business. On a visible part of the body's vehicle, and body advertisements must be eye-catching and compelling in order to attract interest. You will need an easy to remember URL to incorporate prominently in your vehicle or body advertising design. Don't forget to enlist yourself, your personal vehicle, and your own body as advertising tools for your business. Promotional items. Everyone loves getting free stuff. Promotional items combine this basic element of human psychology with marketing flair for an effective and memorable component of a creative advertising campaign. What is it? A promotional item can be any of hundreds of different things. Basically, it's any physical item that bears a printed mention of your business. Your promotional items can be traditional or unique. You can give them away free, award them to customers for buying certain things or participating in special offers, and even sell them, if they are high quality and in demand, as an additional source of income. Following is a list of a few traditional and not so traditional promotional items that can be customized for your business. Brochures and sales catalogs. Bookmarks. Printed newsletters. Glossy flyers. Business cards. Magnets. Bumper stickers. Keychains. Coffee mugs. Shot glasses. Water goblets. T-shirts. Sweatshirts. Baseball caps. Sweatbands. Bandanas. Stress balls. Stuffed animals coasters.